The Whispering Banyan Tree. In a small, quiet village surrounded by dense forest, there was a banyan tree that no one dared to approach. It stood deep in the woods, its massive roots sprawling like tentacles over the earth. The tree was ancient, its thick branches twisted into shapes that looked like faces frozen in agony. The villagers believed the tree was alive, not just alive like any other tree, but alive in a way that was unnatural. The stories said the tree whispered at midnight. Some claimed it was the voice of the wind, but others swore it was the voices of spirits trapped within the tree. The old folks in the village often warned the children, "Stay away from the banyan tree, or its whispers will follow you home." Covey was a curious young storyteller who loved collecting tales from anyone who would share them. He had heard the warnings about the banyan tree his whole life, but the mystery fascinated him. A storyteller's duty, he thought, was to seek the stories no one else dared to tell. So one evening, as the moon rose full and bright, Covey decided he would go to the banyan tree and hear its whispers for himself. The forest was darker than he had expected. The towering trees seemed to lean closer as he walked deeper into the woods. Every crack of a twig underfoot made him jump, but he pressed on, clutching a small lantern to light his way. When he finally reached the banyan tree, he stopped in his tracks. It was enormous, far larger than he had imagined. Its roots twisted into the earth like the claws of a giant beast, and its branches stretched so high they seemed to claw at the stars. The air around the tree felt heavy, as though it carried a weight Covey couldn't see. As the clock struck midnight, the first whisper came. It was faint, almost indistinguishable from the rustling leaves, but it grew louder. Soon, it was unmistakable, soft, hissing voices, speaking words Covey couldn't quite understand. He crept closer, his heart pounding. The whispers seemed to surround him, and then, suddenly, they grew clear. The tree spoke of a treasure buried beneath its roots, hidden centuries ago by a betrayed king. But there was more. The voices spoke of a curse tied to the treasure, a curse that brought ruin to anyone who sought it. Covey shivered. Then, the whispers shifted. They spoke his name. Covey. The sound of his name sent chills down his spine. He stepped back, his lantern trembling in his hand. Who are you?" he stammered. The whispers grew louder, overlapping in a cacophony of voices. They told him of his ancestor, a man who had once come to this very tree, seeking the same treasure. The man had taken what was not his, and in doing so, he had unleashed a curse that had plagued the village ever since. "You must pay the debt," the voices hissed. "You must return what was stolen." The lantern's light flickered, and Covey felt the air grow colder. He wanted to run, but his legs felt rooted to the spot. The whispers continued, more urgent now, telling him he had until the next full moon to make things right. If he didn't, the curse would grow stronger, and the village would suffer. Over the next few nights, Covey returned to the tree, desperate to learn more. Each time, the whispers revealed pieces of the story, a tale of betrayal, greed, and vengeance. But the more he listened, the more he felt the tree's power seep into him. His dreams were haunted by shadowy figures and a voice that echoed, "Return what was stolen." The villagers noticed the change in him. His eyes grew sunken, and his voice trembled when he spoke. "You've been going to the banyan tree, haven't you?" an elder asked. "It's marked you. You must stop before it's too late." But Covey couldn't stop. The whispers pulled him back, night after night. He began digging at the base of the tree, desperate to uncover the treasure and end the curse. But as he dug, he felt the ground shift beneath him, as if the tree itself was alive and resisting him. Then, one night, as the next full moon rose, Covey struck something hard. His heart raced as he uncovered a small, rusted chest. He opened it, and inside, he found a golden locket engraved with strange symbols. The whispers grew deafening, and Covey realized the tree wasn't satisfied. "Return it to the river," the voices demanded. Only then would the curse be lifted. Terrified but determined, Covey took the locket to the river the next morning. As he dropped it into the water, a strange calm fell over the forest. The whispers stopped, and the air felt lighter. Covey never returned to the banyan tree after that night, but he knew it wasn't just a tree. It was a keeper of secrets, a guardian of the past. And though the whispers had faded, he often wondered if the tree was still watching, waiting for the next soul brave or foolish enough to seek its stories.